Hey, welcome back to Reflections with Clinton and Lindsay. And as promised, I try to bring as many good, interesting guests on the program every week. And this week is no exception because I have a walking legend right here. I remember back in the days in New York, these guys came to New York and I was like, wow. So, ain't gonna waste no time. Let me introduce you to the one and only Wayne Armond. Wayne Armond Chalice.
It's an honor to be with you today.
It's a pleasure for me to be with you.
Yes, sir.
You guys are just one of my, when it comes to music and reggae, quality reggae, you guys are just one of those people, as a group that really, in New York back then, just kept the music going.
Yes.
I remember the first time you came to New York, was it 1980? 81?
Yeah, about 81.
The 81. And I was still in school, and in those days, my little school ID only could get me a discount. I didn't have a New York police issue a press pass, so I have to just get. And the show I think was at Hunter College.
Hunter College, yeah.
And it was produced by Ken Williams.
Okay. That's right.
How did Chalice to read? Because I remember we know Ken's pattern when Ken is bringing in an act
Right.
for the next 6 months. It's just that act on the radio, constantly playing,
Yes.
can't whine and can't dub.
Good to be there.
Good to be there and stoopies and yes. So by the time you got to New York, we were all prepared.
Right.
How did it start? And the name Chalice too. A lot of people were like fascinated with that name.
Yeah, well, it's strange because, first of all, we started in 1980.
1980,
And we were
recent.
yeah.
No, I mean to the time when
To the
you
time,
came,
yeah. And we were all playing in different bands, and we left those bands. The idea for this band was actually from Robbie Peart, who was the original lead singer.
Okay.
The one that sang "I'm Trying."
Okay.
And it was his idea, and he came to me to form this band.
Right.
And I didn't really want to form I was playing with Byron Lee at the time.
Oh, you play with Byron Lee.
And I really didn't want to form a band with Robbie because in a previous relationship we couldn't get on too well.
Oh, okay.
But he convinced me because of originality. This is what I like. With Byron Lee, you never really get to express yourself. You're just doing covers and covers.
That's true.
Right. So this was like late 79, and we started to talk about it, and he asked me which musicians I think, and I started to tell him about musicians who I had worked with in the past.
Right.
Keyboard player Alla, and bass player Keith, and then they came in, and then Keith brought in the great Desi. Desi was just a youngster, 17 or 18 years old. And we all left the bands that we're working with April 1st.
April 1st, 1980.
April Fool's Day, 1980.
But at the time though, what I noticed also that comparing to other bands, you were like basically the largest in terms of members.
7-member group.
It was a 7-member group,
Seven-member
and
group.
average band was like 5.
Well, Third World was 6 members, I think.
Right.
I'm not sure how Steel Pod started out with how many
maybe
members.
about 4.
But yeah, we were pretty big.
Right.
But the kind of music we were making
right.
required that.
Yes.
Especially 2 keyboard players.
Yes. And that was unusual too.
Yes.
To have 2 keyboard players.
Right, of course. Well, you asked me about the name now. The name came about because you know that chalice in the Christian church
Yes.
is a communion. It represents the blood of Christ,
right.
and it passed to the congregation.
Yes.
And chalice to the Rastaman is a sacred herb in the chalice that pass from one to the other.
Okay.
So we consider our chalice now a communion of music that we want to just share with the world.
Yes, I see. I see the thinking behind that, because we were, when the roots man them think of chalice, they think of, like you said, you know, the herbs and part of the chalice on the left side and all of that.
Well, can I give you a quick story?
Sure.
The first tour we went to in Europe was in 1983. I think we went to Europe, and the first show we had was in this club that held like about 150 people, and we had our show all worked out. We would take the stage in darkness because the dressing room was right beside the stage, and when the MC introduced the band, now we start playing, the lights come up, and we could hear the excitement in the place. You know, we're not seeing the audience, you know, but we hear this excitement, and we say yes. And when him introduced Chalice, of course, he's a German MC, and him say, Chalice from Trenchtown. These days, everybody
from
Trenchtown. From the play reggae.
Trenchtown.
And the crowd go roar, man, and we roll the drum, start the tune, and the lights go up, and the crowd just got dead.
What were they expecting?
Well, it was 7 bald man on the stage, right?
Yes.
7 bald man named Chalice from Trenchtown. But
very unusual.
Yeah, but we were also shocked because in the audience was 150 white Rasta.
Oh my goodness.
Blonde dreadlocks, khaki clothes, Selassie button.
So both you and them didn't get what you were expecting.
Well, at first.
Yeah.
Right? But the show was held over for 3 days.
Oh, wow.
And we had to come back to Munich like a month later on the tour to play at a 2,000. You see that video trapped?
Yes.
That's where it come from.
Okay, because, you know,
before, and that was a big arena. We came and sold out a 2,000 seat arena.
Nice. But, you know, when your group have this uniqueness about it, you know, because when you look at your albums, you can do a ballad,
yes,
as well as you do a rubber dub.
Yes.
Let's say can't rub, can't dub. That bass there was like do 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 do, and then you would just do a nice lovers rock after that.
Right.
So the guys in the band, do you all read music?
Not all of us. There was we can all follow charts, but to really sight read notes and all that. There were 3 educated musicians.
I could tell. Yeah. I don't know who they were, but when you listen, like there's an album I got in 1984, something about disturbance.
Dangerous disturbance.
And that was like, you could hear violin, you could hear all these mixing. I mean, you know, it was so different.
Yes.
It was so different. So you had people that could read
music.
Yes,
of course, yes. We had educated musicians. The drummer, Desi Jones, educated from started his musical career with Salvation Army Band.
Oh, that right away.
And he was playing the trombone.
Right away.
And then under the tutelage of Sonny Bradshaw.
Right.
So he was really educated.
Yeah, okay.
Mikey Wallace was a graduate of Edna Manley. And all of the other keyboard player started his career with the military band. From Alpha to the military band. So
that's the qualification right there.
Right.
I also saw you did your first reggae Sunsplash.
Sunsplash.
And when you guys came on, was that the one where Stevie Wonder was on?
No, this was the year before Stevie. Or the year after.
The year after Stevie.
The year after Stevie.
And you came on and you just tore the place up.
Well, we were fresh.
You were fresh, and the people, the anticipation, because I remember coming from New York and everybody was like, everybody coming down at their favorite.
Yes.
Who they want to see.
Right.
But what I remember from back then is that we wanted to see Chalice. Most of my team and everybody, we just have this Chalice because the album was doing so well at the time.
Right. Well, at that time when we made our first, second Sunsplash performance, we had 2 or 3 songs that were very popular in Jamaica.
Right.
Good to Be There was one, I'm Trying, and of course we had this dynamic live show we would be prancing all over the stage.
Yes, yeah.
We wouldn't just stand
Yes,
up and...
I remember that.
know.
And you play the bass.
No, I play guitar.
You play guitar.
Yeah.
Because I remember you would just slide across the stage.
Yes.
I mean, you were much younger, so you have that energy.
Of course.
I've seen you today. Seen you today. I saw you just this past Sunday night.
Yes.
And there was a part in your performance where you make the man them play and then you start your little jump up and down. I was look at him. It just bring back memories for me. Because I saw that at Hunter College and I saw that at Reggae Sunsplash.
Right.
Over the years you have had, little, mishaps here and tragedy there and there.
Right.
How the band survived that?
Clinton, it was difficult, especially in 1999, you see. Well, here's what happened. In around 97, the band we made an album. Wasn't a bad album. But at the time, nobody was interested, no record company was interested in straight ahead reggae. Right. Because it was now the era of Shabba-Ranks. Right? It was Shabba-Ranks and Cabra and Patra and dancehall was now the thing. Everybody wanted another Shabba-Ranks. Right. So they weren't interested in reggae. And we were kind of tired of the road as well. The road got a little. So we decided to take a break and do some other things, the musicians. Well, I went with Jimmy Cliff for some years. Mikey went with Third World, the keyboard player. Alla and Keith went with Alpha Blondie. Really? So we were garnering new experiences and different things to bring back in the year 2000 and come fresh from these experiences. And unfortunately, in the year 99, Mike got shot, murdered.
Was he the one at National Stadium? That's the same guy?
Right.
I remember
right
that
at the foot of Bob Marley's statue.
Yes, I remember that story.
Right.
I remember that story. So he was the first out of the group?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and the other two passed from sickness. You know?
Roper, I remember Roper, he was like, I remember him a lot from the video. Come to the river.
Yes.
He played a very
significant
part.
He was one of the best singers, you know. I mean, I miss it. I mean, his voice was tremendous. Tremendous.
But I have to congratulate you still, you know, because when I see you do these songs, you fit in so well, you know, as lead singer. When, now that, because even Sunday night when you did Revival Time, you had that place rocking.
Clinton, I have to keep the catalog alive.
Yes.
You know, that's what is important for me.
Yes. And what I saw Sunday night, and your last set, when you went into this revival,
the gospel thing,
Kumina thing.
Yes.
Did you see the people that were reacting to you?
Oh, yeah.
How, you know, now you're talking 40 years later at least, how it make you feel to see people are still receptive to what you're doing?
Well, it's like this. It's a humbling feeling. That's the first thing. You feel humbled by it. Of course, you feel good. You know, you must feel good.
Yes, of course.
To know that, but over the years you get experienced and you know your audience. You kind of figure, well, it's going to be a big Jamaican audience because it's a Jamaican independent show. Yes. So you touch the culture. You give the people.
Certainly. I was standing backstage just watching you, and more I was watching the audience. I was measuring the excitement and the flag, and I'm saying, what are you going to do next? I think you did One Day, was it One Day Christian?
No, Pocomania Day.
Pocomania Day.
Which was a big song for Chalice and Love in There.
Right.
Love in There, actually. Here's the thing, after our success with Revival Time, that was huge, Revival Time.
Video and singing.
Yes, and 3 years later, we didn't go back to it. And Love in There came to me and said, you're not going to do another revival. And I said, no, sir, we touch that and finish. Him say, and him say, I bring in a tune to you. I'm going to write the tune, produce it, everything.
Just come on.
You just come on. Chalice and Love in there.
Yes.
And when it bring Pocomania, it was a no-brainer.
A no-brainer.
Yeah, we had to do it.
Yes.
And it just up to today, man.
Now today, like presently, there are times when you are billed as Wayne Armond, and then there are times when you are billed as Wayne Armond and Chalice, or just Chalice.
Right.
Why?
Okay.
What are the differences in how you're billed?
All right. The difference is this now. Whenever Chalice, from 2019, we decided that if we were, because we have a lead singer in the band, who is not always available.
Okay.
Since Trevor's passing, but we decided that if I am the lead singer on a Chalice song, I'm going to say Chalice featuring Wayne Armond, because when it comes to royalties from PPL, they pay more as a featured artist.
Oh. Okay.
If you are a featured, if not just the band Chalice.
Right.
But if you're a featured artist, you tend to get a little bigger percentage from the societies that you join with.
Right.
So it's not that the guys won't benefit.
Right. But if it's your song,
yeah, if it's my song,
it will be more than reasonable that you'll get a little bit more.
Right. And even if the lead singer is Dean, even if Dean was to sing a new song now,
Stevens. There's an album that came out, and a lot of focus was put on him as a new singer. What album was that?
Well,
it was a mixed album. It was an album with a lot of mixed tracks, music, genre of music. It's dark in color. I'm looking at it, but I can't see it. But if I say Dean Stevens was the lead singer at the time.
Yes, we actually did 3 albums with Dean.
3 albums.
Okay. The first one was called Tough Enough, which only released in Austria.
Oh, okay.
It was not released. The second album was called Lovers Rock. Was called Let It Play.
Let It Play.
Right,
That's the album.
With the smoke coming out of the speaker.
Let It Play. You have a wicked ballad on that. It's about 6 minutes long.
Yes, it's called Candle Burning. And
you know the stuff?
You do. And the big tune off of that album is a tune called Lovers Rock.
Lovers Rock.
Yeah, which Dean and I wrote.
But let me ask you this though. Do you find it as a Jamaican band musician, is it hard to market the diversity of your music, like an album like Let It Play?
Yes. You see, no, Clinton, it's not bad, no. But
it's not bad now.
When Chalice started, it worked against us. Everything worked against us.
Well, people say you as an uptown, sort of sophisticated band.
Not really, because you can't look at man like Alan, Trevor, Desi, and because Robbie and I were probably 2 born man, and but it never worked against Fab Five with Frankie Campbell. It never worked against Third World with Cat and him. But what worked against us was this. The very first album that we make with I Still Love You, big hit, Good to Be There hit. We have 4 singers on that album. We have sung that song funky, we have sung that song ballad, R&B, we have sung that song reggae. And when we tried to shop that album with the record company, the man them said, this album
what direction are you
going? No direction.
No direction.
Because them say Steel Pulse have David Hines.
Yes.
Which is a unique voice. Third World have Bunny Ruggs. Unique voice.
Yes.
Where are coming from? I hear one voice, then the next track is another voice.
And that's a good argument.
Yes.
That's a good argument. Because when you get Rolling Stone, it's just Mick Jagger, you get Gladys Knight, it's just Gladys Knight.
Every album that we made went to Chris Blackwell, because the engineer on those albums was Chris Blackwell. Took him from Aquarius Studio to Compass Point to work with him there. So we had that connection. And Chris kept shaking his head, now go work.
So did you see it as something that was a liability?
Well,
be so diversified?
Look here, Clinton, when you're young and you don't give
Right.
We
You
don't
hear it, right.
We don't care. We going to play our music, how we feel
like,
to do it.
yeah. Not thinking about the marketing.
Not thinking about that
marketing.
at all. Not thinking about that at all.
No, you know, a couple months ago, I was listening to the station down here, the big Caribbean station, and I heard a disc jockey playing Righteous People. And I said, what are them? I know a tune there, but I know it as Righteous Youths by Richie Spice.
Yeah.
And I listen, because I was in a parking lot, and I listen and I listen and I listen. And when him done, him said, Wayne Armond. And I said, hold on there, Wayne Armond a copy Richie Spice? And what did I do next? You know, call him. I said, Wayne, I understand. And you told me, I respect a writer that can write for other singers, not just himself. Because you know your tone, you know your ability, you know everything. But when you write a song for another, you know, that's why I Smokey Robinson and Lamont Dozier and them people. That song, how long did you have that song and why did you give it to Richie Spice?
Well, I didn't give it to Richie per se. I'd written the song for a while. And Chalice actually did a little version of it at Penthouse Records.
Recorded?
Yeah.
Okay.
But it, you know, it didn't do anything. It wasn't doing anything. And then my brother-in-law was working with Fifth Element Records.
Oh, Fifth Element.
And they had Richie Spice and Chuck Fender.
Yes.
Etana.
Yes.
And he come to me one day, we're talking, and he said to me, Wayne, remember that tune, Righteous People, that you do? He said, Richie Spice would have do a wicked version.
Oh, gosh.
And I said, well, all right. So I laid the track in my studio. Or I would have liked it, would have liked to have done it from before. And Richie come in, and bring Richie to the house, and Richie come in, and Richie changed it up to Righteous Youth.
Yes,
and sing.
I deal with that.
Yeah, man, he was a defender of the youth, of course. And I just give it, I didn't, Fifth Element, I didn't get $1 for them, but I never asked them. Even though they might have offered, I don't remember.
But it's copyrighted, so
yes,
so you will get your royalty in time.
Yes, but I just gave them the song, and then the next thing. But as you talk about write for other people, you know, it was never a conscious thing on my part to say, I'm going to write a tune for you. I'm going to write a tune for you.
So how does it come out? Like something like how Richie Spice?
Well, like that, right? But the first hit that I have writing for other people was a strange thing. I have a good friend named Carol Gonzalez.
Carol Gonzalez, the attorney lawyer.
Right.
Yes.
Good friend from way back. And she started to record for Germaine.
Yes.
And one day she just bring a track to me and she said, Germaine want me to sing on this track, you know, but I don't write. And I said, all right, give me the cassette tape days, you know. So I write this tune in 10 minutes, Clinton.
Don't tell me the tune that a big #1 tune for her.
That's right. So
second class.
I write that song.
Oh my goodness.
I write that song, but the title of it was Looking Glass.
Looking Glass.
And when I send the demo now to Germaine said, I love everything about this, but I don't like the title. I don't like the Looking Glass. Change it. And
that's what a producer does.
Yes. And I changed that to Second Class. And Carol went away to study law in England and called me from England one day and said, Wayne, the tune is a big hit.
I remember it was a big hit in New York, and then they added Buju later.
Yeah.
Are you writing that song there?
Yes. And then because of that now, he sent me another track to write for Marcia Griffiths. And I write a tune named Woman for Marcia Griffiths.
And then you are Lady G.
Lady G.
So you are, what is, how you get your inspiration? You hear the track and then the lyrics come out and you have it in your head?
No, I hear the track and the track inspires you some way. And you think about the person who you write.
Right. That's a good song. That's the sign of a good songwriter. Now you think of the person, you listen to the rhythm and you know exactly, I'm going to put you on that. And that's what happened.
Right.
Now back to Righteous People. When I called you, I said, Wayne, you know, you have to release this tune. Was it at the time? Was it just for the radio, or for the disc jockey, or? Because I know you guys have a long relationship, close relationship.
When you
here.
called me, it was just, it hadn't even been mixed, Clinton. I just done it for Jamusa.
Yes.
And I didn't expect him to play it on the air, but thank God he played it
Because
because it get to your ears.
So let me ask you now, months later, the song it's on the charts now, it's on South Florida, New York chart. What do you think?
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you and thank God.
Because it's doing this second round, when Ricky made it #1.
Yes.
And here you are, the original. And when you pulled that song Sunday night,
Yes.
and you were introducing it, saying blah blah blah, I was looking at the audience, and everybody was just listening to what you were saying, because they didn't pick up the song.
Right.
You see when you started,
Yes.
you could see the side. Oh, had a song there.
And when the audience sing the chorus with me, man, that really made me feel warm.
Yeah.
Nice.
Brethren, your history and my history, when we combine that together, we could go on and on. What's next for you? You had told me some time ago you might be putting together an album.
Yes.
Status on
I
that?
put it, well, I had a recent release. My COVID project was a tribute to Alton Ellis. I did
You told me about that before, but brother, you didn't even send me a track.
You're going to get it before the night is over. You get the whole album.
Alright, so Alton was an inspiration.
Very much so. Alton Ellis' music was so melodic.
Yes.
You know, back in the rocksteady days, man used to make some sweet music, man.
And thank God we have people like you. We feel much better to know the music is in the hands of people like you.
So far, so good, boy, because Clinton, some things I hear coming out of Jamaica.
Oh gosh.
Don't.
This is why when I hear a certain tune, I have to place a call and say, yo, because it's disgusting. Now, a couple of weeks ago, when I saw in the newspaper, your younger brother,
yes.
I did not put the connection, because when I used to go to Jamaica, I used to listen to RJR and that man had Chris Armond.
Right.
That was your brother.
That's my younger brother.
Recently passed.
Yes.
I
miss him so bad you wouldn't like no.
My condolence to you. But
thank you.
When you told me it was your brother, I'm like, okay. So he chose that part of it, and you chose music as.
Well, how I get to choose music, I will never know. But his story is different, because my grandfather was a man who started horse racing down at Georgia Fifth Park, which is now Heroes Park.
Wow.
He used to promote cycle sports, and then he went to horse racing. And then they built a track up at Knutsford Court, which is now New Kingston. And that was called Knutsford Park. My father went into the business with my grandfather, and then Chris Father.
You took the music.
I go that way, and I don't know. As far
but
back as
did you try any of it? Any of the racing thing? A trainer? Are you go straight into the music?
I tried gambling.
I was like, okay, makes sense, because then when I remember I saw his picture, and then I saw, I know you.
Yeah.
I said, okay. He was very young there. He was what, 62
not very
or
young.
something?
No, he died 2 months before his 67th birthday.
Right, okay.
So he was 66.
Wayne Armond.
And he died on the same day Bob Marley passed, so.
Oh, really?
I guess him timed it well.
May 11th.
11th.
Wayne, it's a pleasure having you here.
My brother, I could talk to you.
We could talk all week. But please,
so
that piece you have with Alton Ellis.
Yes, I'm going to send you the album.
What song of Alton will you consider the first release from the album?
I haven't released a single. People like various things. My personal choice is Dance Crashers.
Oh God!
It's got a nice, and Dean Fraser had saxophone.
Oh gosh, I would love to hear that.
And you're going to get
I'm
the
going
whole
to make sure I stay on you on that one. Listen, Wayne, it's a pleasure having you here, and I want to thank you for passing through Reflections. And my special guest, Wayne Armond, Chalice, featuring Chalice. Chalice featuring Wayne Armond, it's all the same. So
Same, all the same.
when you see that, he's a fantastic performer. So when you get a chance to see him, go and see him.
And Lindsay a promoter. Bring up the biggest set of artists from Jamaica. Like Super Cat and Mr. Early be the doctor. Only for artists, no for them me can't remember. Who can remember when them used to keep Jamaica? The kind of show that used to give out no for water. To reggae